How do you get your yard to look like a golf course? Well, today's special guest, Ron Henry, arguably has the nicest lawn in America. It is spectacular. Ron actually mows his grass every single day in the summer. And today he's going to share with us his tips and strategies of how to get your lawn looking green and spectacular. I think we would all agree Augusta National Golf Club has the nicest golf course in the world. And my vote is that Ron Henry has the nicest lawn in the world. It's incredible, and today he's going to share it all, what he does to make his lawn look like a golf course.
Ron Henry, welcome to the program, man.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Paul. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, I love your YouTube channel, dude, and your yard. I don't like that slope in the front yard, but I love your backyard.
Yeah, the slope is pretty challenging. You know, it's cool though, because from a content standpoint, a lot of people have that type of situation in their lawn. So being able to have something to show them, you know, real mowing or just the challenges of working with a slope, top dressing is kind of useful.
Yeah, I had a customer, he had this huge slope just like yours, and I would always scalp it. Always scalp it, always scalp it. And I'm looking at your slope, I'm like, man, how did you overcome that?
Yeah, so it's what you're seeing right now, the state of the lawn. It's been top dressed several times. You know that I'm a big real mowing type guy. So over time, I've been able to kind of work the contours of it to where I've been able to mow the slope as low as a half an inch, just under half an inch, and it doesn't scalp. So a lot of it is mowing diagonally and just not allowing a lot of thatch to build up so that the surface doesn't get spongy. So there's a combination of things allows it to maintain that type of height and still good after mowing.
Cool. Well, I want to hear the story, man. I know you're a respected authority and expert for incredible, you know, golf course style lawns for homeowners on YouTube, but
Sure.
How did you get here? What was the origin story? What got you fascinated with turf, and how did you gain all this knowledge?
Fun fact is when I was a kid, I actually hated mowing grass. My dad used to force me to go out on the weekends and mow. Like my parents have some property back in the Caribbean where I'm from. So a couple weekends a month were like lawn cutting stuff, right? So I hated doing that. But then fast forward, you know, they always say when you grow up, you become your parents. Moved into this house about 7 years ago, and I thought, man, this has got a really, really good landscape for possibly turning into a nice lawn. And then I got into just having it mowed at first. And then a buddy of mine was saying, you know, if you really want to take it to the next level, you got to get into real mowing. So I started out push real mowing this entire lawn. At the time, it was right around 12,000 square feet with like a Scott's, what was it? Like a 16-inch, like a 16-inch mower at the time, which is kind of insane when I think about it now. And I did that for a year and a half until one day, one fateful day. My neighbor, who is, if you're looking at the videos, his house is the brick one that's like, I don't know, like a pitching wedge away from mine. He was out there with his true cut on the front lawn. And I saw him mowing, and I was like, man, this looks really, really good. And he says, yeah, if you want your lawn to really look like this, you got to move from the one you're using to a powered drill mower. And I said, I don't know. This seemed kind of expensive. I'm not sure if I really want to make that kind of a plunge. And then he did the thing that, you know, really, really set things off. He said, you know, just borrow mine. Just take it home, try it out, see what you think. And
Was this a True Cut 27 or what was he? What did he have?
He had a 27, a True Cut C27.
Okay.
Yep. So I took it home, mowed a little bit with it, and I was like, man, this is like the push was nice, but this is like next level. So I got to have one. So he also is the owner of a equipment rental place in Duluth, Georgia. So conveniently, you know, he was.
I live in Cumming.
Oh, in Cumming? Okay, cool. Yeah. So he's in Duluth, Georgia, Keystone, and he, you know, so seeing he was selling his product, he let me have a sample of it first. And then, of course, I put an order in for a C25, and the rest is history, you know? So started
Keystone Rental. That's the, like Johns Creek in Duluth by a Quick Trip.
Yes, exactly. So, exactly. So Johns Creek, yeah. So you go like where Peachtree Industrial and that Quick Trip are, you turn right, and they are on the right if you're going, you know, if you're going away from 85.
Yeah.
Across
the street, Wambadilla. That's where I get my pine straw. That trailer across the street.
Yep. I know what you're talking about.
I know Keystone. All right, so this is exciting. So your neighbor lets you borrow the 27-inch True Cut, and then you're like, so much easier. You like the way it looks.
Like the way it looks, the way it cuts. The fact that his was, he said, coming up on 20 years at the time. I mean, he's had it for a long time, and it still was running great. I thought, okay, well, this thing's going to be, you know, $400 once I get the roller on it. But if I take care of it, it's going to last a really long time. So I ordered a C25 from him. It took a couple of weeks to get it, and love it. Fell in love with it. Mowed with that mower for a couple of years until like I was on
What year
YouTube.
was this when you got the C25?
I'm sorry, what?
What year was it when you got the C25?
Oh man, I think it was 2018.
Oh, wow.
2018, I believe was correct. 2018 is something when I got this. Because I actually did a video like reviewing it. I believe that was in 2018.
Okay.
So I mowed with it for a couple of years, and a couple of my viewers, the following on YouTube started growing, and a viewer came to me and says, "Hey, your lawn looks really nice. Not throwing shade, looks great with the C27." He said, "But what you really need to do is put a greens mower on it." And I'm like, greens mower? How much better could it be? I thought the C27 was all there was to it. And then I took the plunge, got a Toro Greensmaster, it's coming up on 3 years ago at this point, and it was a game changer. I mean, literally, I made a couple of passes with it, and I shut the mower off and started laughing, looking at how much better the stripes were, how much better the quality cut was. Wow. And it just never stops. Never stops. You're always chasing the better cut.
When did you start your YouTube channel? Why did you get started with that?
Sure. So the YouTube channel actually started all the way back in 2006. I didn't do anything with it for a long time. I was doing like book reviews. I'm really being into cars as well too, like into performance cars. So I use it as a way to just kind of document that type of stuff. And then when I started working on the lawn, I literally just had my iPhone. I would just get out there with my iPhone. I thought, if I'm going to go out here and I'm going to do all this work of trying to make this look like a golf course, I'm going to film it. So that way I can look and see over time how it changes. And don't go back and look at my old videos. They're horrible. I mean, some people will say my current videos are horrible too, but the ones back then were
I
really
watched
bad.
the core aerated video today. Do you edit this yourself, or do you have someone else editing it?
It's all done by me. All done by me.
Incredible work, man.
Yeah.
Incredible
all done
work.
by me.
What editing software do you use?
I use Final Cut Pro.
Okay.
Final Cut Pro.
Excellent editing on that.
Yeah. I worked at it. I work at it to try and get better. I study a lot of YouTubers that have content that it's good and that are able to kind of warp people through a video. So I have a whole script that I use as far as like scripting up the content, putting together all the shots. Like I have a shot sheet of like what lens I want to shoot each one with, how I want to do the transitions. So literally by the time I actually get out there to film it, like all the hard work is done. It's just like going through what I've already written out and then assembling it, So
how long from start to finish filming, editing, scripting did the core aeration video take?
That one, so I started working on that one Wednesday, as far as just the writing portion of it. I took the day off from work on Friday, so Friday was all about filming it. So I shot it all on Friday, edited, did some basic edits before the live stream Friday night, and then Saturday was assembly day. So I went to karate in the morning, and literally I spent, I got home at 1:30, and I was editing until 8 or 9 or so. So I mean, it's typically, my typical rule is it's about an hour of footage for every minute of video that makes it onto YouTube. So that video you saw today was yeah.
What?
Yeah. So that video that you saw today, that's like 4 minutes, actually it's more than that, well over 4 hours of footage that most of it just gets thrown out. Like I'll do scenes over and over till I get it just the way I want it. And most of it just gets thrown out. And what you see is just what I keep cutting down, cutting until I get to where it's nice and tight, gives all the information, but doesn't, it's respectful of the viewers' times.
I was very impressed. I mean, the content was great, but the editing, I was like, do you have a professional doing this or what? I mean, it was like watching a Hollywood trailer or something. Everything was just so blended together, and it makes you watch all the way through the way you're like always in the middle of a story, and it's just like you can't not watch.
You can't watch. That's the idea, because you think about it in lawn care, like leveling a lawn, aerating a lawn, applying fertilizer. It's all been done before. There's not really a lot of new information about it. I mean, I try and throw in some tips that I found that I've learned over time that make things better. But really, the only thing that really can set your content apart from what, the hundreds of thousands or thousands of hours of other type of lawn care content on YouTube is your spin on it. So I thought, how do I take like an MKBHD video or any of the top YouTubers like Peter McKinnon, any of these guys that have just gorgeous cinematography, and bring that to lawn care and make it fun to watch and entertaining to watch. And that's my goal. Sometimes I get it right, sometimes not so much, but that's what that's what I'm aiming for whenever I make a piece of content.
How many subscribers did you have back in, I think it's 2018, when you busted out the phone and you're showing your first kind of few mows with the reel mower?
Like, I don't know, under like 400 or 500, hardly anything. Anything.
So the 40,000 plus that you have now, that's all the lawn crowd.
That's all lawn care. Yeah, because the thing is, the books, the video, the content that I had on like book reviews that I was doing, and also like the performance car stuff, I mean, some people like that stuff, but it's not like lawn care because it was just Bermuda. You got to figure with Bermuda lawns. There is Michael Bowman. There's BYD. There's myself. There's Doc.
Is BYD an Atlanta guy?
Yeah, I was actually at his place today. We were doing a little live stream on Instagram, and yeah, he's in Stockbridge. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I saw him go live. I didn't know you were there. I didn't click on it. I want to go down and interview him sometime.
Yeah, you'd like it.
Cool.
He actually mows lawns too as well. So he's like a lawn care service as well.
Now you don't have a lawn care business?
No time. I don't have time.
Okay, so you have a full-time job.
Right. Yes. My actual day job, like how I actually earn a living, is in information security. So I'm a computer guy. I'm a computer geek. Right.
Okay.
So I've done that professionally since the mid to late 90s. And then just getting into lawn care has been something that really kind of happened by accident. And the way I am, my personality type is once I get into something, I want to get really good at it, or I just don't want to be bothered with doing it. And that's hence why like the videos have got to get better. Like the lawn has got to get better. I want to, so it's just this chase of constant improvement. So
how did you get connected with this community then 2018 as you're kind of like a rookie, homeowner out there trying to figure it out? How did you find out there's a ton of other guys out there obsessed with taking care of their backyard as well?
Well, I mean, I think everyone that's on YouTube recently or in last, I don't know, 10 years or so have watched Alan's videos. So I watched his stuff for a while, learned a lot from him, just learned a lot about the kind of content that people would like. And I didn't really look for a crowd or a following on YouTube for a lot of years. It was really, they found me more so than I found them. Like my first content, the first videos I was making really was just as a way to document what I was doing and, hey, I'm trying out this product. And then I would go to Site One and I would talk to the guys there. And then I made friends with people that actually work in industry for a couple different golf courses. And they would like share information with me around programs and ways of improving the lawn. So just something that just kind of happened over time. And then as the content got better, or at least the information got better, people just began seeking me out, and that's really how it grew. It wasn't something that I like went out intentionally to say I'm going to try and grow a huge following on YouTube. It just really happened organically. So
who are, other than Alan Hain and BYD, who are some of the other creators that you are friends with, you like their content, you kind of collab with?
So BYD, Alan, who else I've had on? I've had people in the industry. So Devin as a guy, is like a golf course guy. Not really. It's funny. I don't actually collaborate with a ton of other YouTubers, mainly because they're either busy or some of them are cool season grass. I'm a warm season guy. That's something that I'm trying to work on doing more of. That's why hence today I went and hung out with BYD all morning. So that's something I don't do a ton of, not because I'm really opposed to it. It's just not something that I've done. I've put a lot of time in, because between my full-time job and then trying to find time to do YouTube as far as making content and then the live streams, I just want to make sure that anytime I'm doing something, I'm making the best use of my time. But collaborations are definitely a good way to grow and to just cross-pollinate, get it introduced to more people, more subscribers, more audiences, and that kind of thing. So a good example, the lawn tools, I've never collaborated with them, but I've spoken to those guys before. We chat back and forth on Facebook. They're really really great set of guys. So I am familiar with a lot of other YouTubers, but as far as collaborating on a regular scale, not something that I've done a whole lot of, unfortunately.
Yeah, shout outs to Jordan from the Lawn Tools, because he was at Tour. They invited me up to this event up there. Alan Hain was there and Jordan, the Lawn Tools. I got to meet these guys in person. And I was telling them for my podcast, I have like a list of people I want to interview. I was like, I want to interview this Ron Hammer guy. He lives in Georgia. I live in Georgia. Yeah. Jordan's like, I'll make it happen, man. I know him. So I appreciate you hopping on the show, man. Your yard is incredible. So tell us a little bit more about your mowing schedule. I see you out there while the dew's on the grass and you work. Like, how frequently are you mowing? Tell us a little bit about how you got your yard looking in so pristine shape.
So it started out with top dressing probably 5 years ago. Was the first time it was top dressed. I believe that's about right. I had a local service do it because I didn't know what I was doing then, and they did that. I watched it and I was like, huh, I can do this. This is it seems like a lot of work, but I can actually do this myself. So I started out with getting it top dressed to help smooth things out a bit. From there, every year since then, I've done some kind of top dressing. So top dressing has been a big thing. learning about, you know, soil testing and the importance of making sure that the soil has the right amount of nutrients, because really, you know, people chase green grass, they chase like an awesome looking lawn, but really that's a byproduct. Like it's almost like trying to get a lot of muscles, right? Like really it's like watching your diet, working, exercising, and then getting a good physique is just a byproduct of that. Same thing with your lawn. So I started to wanted to understand it at a deep level, like what makes grass green, what makes grass grow, what helps it to be disease resistant. You know, for Bermuda, how do you treat it and cut it and do all these things to make sure that it performs as well as it can over time. Again, going to site when I tried a lot of different professional level products. I mean, it's funny. So like I use a lot of products from Miramature Green on my lawn, right? At first learned about their products, I got introduced to it from a guy at Site One that said, "Hey, try this stuff out. We've gotten really good response with it." And because of the way the branding was, I attributed in one of my videos a product to Miramichi Green that actually was not them. Okay. And so one of their VPs reached out to me and says, "Hey man, great lawn, but I want you to know that's not really our product." And that's how I got, introduced to them, just from, go out there trying to make a piece of content about a product that I really, really like the results with. It happened over time. So going forward to getting the lawn to where it is now, soil testing has been huge. Using a proper fertilization program has been huge. And then just mowing. So these days right now, I am mowing every other day. So I'll get up in the morning because it's a way for me to relax too. Like before work, I'll get out there 6:30 in the morning. The nice thing with the mower that I use, which currently is a Greensmaster, the Toro Greensmaster, is they're really quiet. As quiet as a lawnmower can be. They're relatively quiet. So I can get out there early in the morning. The neighbors I've asked them, it doesn't really bother them because they don't really hear it. And the reason why I like to do it when there's dew on the lawn is you can lay like perfect stripes, So right now it's every other day. Last year when I was cutting the lawn at just under half an inch, in June and July, it came every day mowing. So for 2 months, I mowed the lawn every single day. And that's, more power to people that can do it, but it's a ton of dedication. It's a lot of wear and tear on the turf because you're always out there with the equipment on it. It's a lot more mileage on the equipment. And frankly, my lawn anyway looks better mowed a bit taller. So between half an inch and 3/4 of an inch is where my lawn stripes nicely. It looks good. So that's where I'm running it this year. And right now I'm at 0.62 inches with my mower set up to cut. So 5/8 is where I'm at right now.
When you say you were mowing in June every day, the entire yard or just sections of it?
The entire lawn, the entire yard. Every morning I'd get up and I'd get up there like it was like a job. I'd get up there every morning. And towards the end of July, I was like, yeah, this was cool to do. It looks really nice as far as being like really smooth and you could like roll a golf ball on it. But this is too much. Frankly, the lawn didn't look color-wise, didn't look as good as it does now. And we're not even in the growing season. Like in another month is when it's really going to pop. So the lawn my grass likes being cut a bit taller. So I'm listening to the turf and just cutting it a bit taller.
How long does it take you to do that 12,000 square foot first thing in the morning? About
45 to 50 minutes. It actually goes really fast because I don't have a lot of obstacles. So literally I set the mower up and I'm making passes. It doesn't take long. I can mow the entire lawn, edge and blow in an hour. So it's not
cool.
Not
so you're
terrible.
Done by about 7:30.
Oh yeah. I'm done by 7:30. Get in the house, shower up, get ready for my barrage of meetings that I have all day, and yeah, so I'm done long before 8 o'clock.
That's so cool. What are your plans for the YouTube channel moving forward?
So it's funny. So I started doing the live streams in August of 2022. So the August of 2020 is when I started doing it because I started saying, hey, really, right now, everyone cares about grass. Around March, the United States anyway remembers they all have lawns, and they forget about it in like September. So like YouTube views for the most part, like they ramp up. And right now, so this is our Christmas time. We're getting tons of views, tons of promotion. But then October time frame, it tends to fall off. So the live streams are something that I did. One is a way to learn, to find out like what kind of problems are they having in their lawns. So I can get ideas for content. It's a way for me to get better at learning things that I otherwise wouldn't learn. And so I tend to keep doing that. August of this year will be 2 years of live streaming pretty much every Friday. So I will continue to do that. And then I'm still toying with the idea of overseeding my lawn in the fall. I don't think I'm going to do it. Everyone keeps saying, put some ryegrass down in the fall and just let us see what it looks like as far as like overseeding a Bermuda lawn with perennial rye. And I've seen it done. It does look cool, but I'm afraid of what that's going to look like in the springtime as far as getting rid of it. So I haven't decided yet if that's going to happen.
I think they do that at some. I used to work in Sugarloaf Country Club, and they would have these areas I couldn't figure out. I was like, how did they get that? It's dark green in January. Everything else is dormant. Yeah, and that's what I figured they always did because I knew they didn't spray paint it. I could tell it was real. So that was ryegrass they overseeded it with?
Ryegrass. When you're looking at Augusta National in April, Augusta National is actually Bermuda, believe it or not. But what you see it in April, it's overseeded with rye. So it looks, and how actually having been on the course, like, imagine, I always tell everyone this, imagine the best lawn you've ever seen in your entire life, the best grass you've ever seen in your entire life, and it's better than that. That's the best way to describe Augusta National. So ryegrass does have its merits, right? In the sense that in the early spring into around this time frame, it looks incredible. Like the color's awesome. It stripes like way better than Bermuda does. But you have to really eventually get rid of it because it competes with the Bermuda. And what you'll find is the Bermuda will struggle to come out of dormancy. It's going to look kind of, I don't want to say sickly, but it's just not going to really take off until you spray out the ryegrass and get rid of it. So I haven't decided if I want to go that route yet, but it does look awesome. It does look awesome.
Yeah, well, that'll be interesting if you do. I guess the consequences are a little unsettling.
Yeah, because really, when it comes to like using herbicides on your lawn, it makes sense to really do that either when the lawn is completely dormant or when it's completely greened up. And really, if you're trying to get rid of the ryegrass, you're spraying like say Celsius or some other herbicide that targets ryegrass at a time when the Bermuda is transitioning out. So you are going to, ding it a little bit. You're going to slow down that transition out of dormancy. You're not going to kill it. I mean, it's hard to kill Bermuda even when you really want to. For that reason, in other words, I want it all. I want it to be like green and beautiful all year round. But when it comes to March timeframe, I want the ryegrass to go away and my Bermuda to come back. And it doesn't really happen that way.
What's your reputation like in the neighborhood? Do your neighbors know about this YouTube channel, or are they just like, oh, our neighbor has a nice lawn, or what's that kind of like?
So at first I was the crazy guy out there with my camera all the time, and now they just kind of get used to it. So what's funny is now whenever I start mowing and scalping, like invariably a couple of days later, you start hearing lawnmowers in the neighborhood start firing up. Oh, it's time to go. Ron's out doing his thing. And it's the same thing with the video. Like before, it used to bug me because people would drive by and they would stop and they'd like figure out what he's doing. And now people don't even pay attention. They completely expect it. Like if I'm out there filming, they'll stop at the bottom of the street and they'll like look out and say, "Can I go by?" I'm like, "Yeah, you're fine. Go on, drive by." So they're considerate. They know that I'm the lawn YouTuber guy. And there's actually a couple of subscribers in the neighborhood that I bounce ideas off of and we chat about lawn care. So it's cool.
Have you ever been out and about town and someone recognized you? I'm like, dude, I watch you on YouTube.
I've been to Commerce. So I've been I was really into cars and someone there recognized me. And also in the neighborhood, it's happened. So what's funny is I was over at a neighbor. So the guy that used to be my neighbor moved to a house that's, I don't know, like 5-minute walk from where I am now. So I was over by him because he was getting ready to top dress his lawn. And he's like, "Hey, what do you think? Should I aerate?" And we're just looking at it. And he was trying to figure out how heavy he wants to go. And I'm sitting there talking to him. And literally this car rolls by and then stops and says, "Ron Henry." And I look, and it's a police officer. I'm thinking to myself, wow. I'm like, I don't have any tickets. I'm trying to think, I'm not in any trouble. And it's a police officer that lives in the neighborhood, like another street up. So he recognized me. He knew who I was. It was cool, but it was a little bit unsettling to have people recognize you that you don't think that anyone really watches. You know they do, but you never think that anyone that you might actually come across would recognize you. So.
When you're looking at your analytics, what percentage of viewers are men?
Oh, I can tell you. Most of them are. I can actually tell you right now. If I look at my analytics, my audience, the majority of them, I mean, it varies, but most are, let me see, 89% are men. So about 90% men, 10% women. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've been interviewing some of these guys that are kind of getting viral on YouTube who are doing these lawn transformations for free. I'm not sure if you've ever seen any of those pop up.
Like Lawn Juggernaut, those kind of guys?
Yeah, Lawn Care Juggernaut, Al Blades, these guys. And their analytics is balanced. It's actually a lot of women that are finding. Yeah, I was like, what, really? And then you read the comments, it's like Sharon and Susie and all these like women, like, what you young kids are doing for the community, so nice, blah, blah, blah. But I was like, they're watching it for entertainment. But I figure, as men, we all want a nice lawn. So
right.
I figured your analytics was probably 90. That's what I would have guessed. So that's
I do have some female subscribers and viewers, and they are very loyal. Like they'll show up in the live stream every week, and they'll also in the comment sections. But it's mainly, it's mainly men. So. Maybe I need to start doing renovation stuff. I don't know. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah, I'm telling you what. I've been going out. I don't know if you know Jason Creel. He's a Furt and Squirt guy. Lawn Care Life.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been going. Well, I went out once with him, and we did some lawn care makeover videos, and that was a lot of fun. And I'm going to go back out. I think in a week and a half, we're going to make some more. It's a lot of fun, man. And the algorithm's really favoring it right now. So
nice. I have to look into that. Yeah, Jason's a great guy. He I've never met him personally. I've like chatted with him when he's doing the live streams, when doing his live streams.
Yeah.
And he's really a great guy as far as like herbicides and just like a really no nonsense. Here's how you can, here's like these herbicide combinations work and that kind of thing. So he's always cool to talk to, but I've never actually met him in person. And I think he's just in Alabama. He's not too far down the road. So
yeah, it's about the day I got, I spent more time, I think, on 285 and then 80. Atlanta traffic's crazy, man. I was stuck down here, but yeah, he lives, I think it's called Trussville, Alabama.
Okay.
He got like 3 acres out there, but yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
So, but he started a separate channel from his regular channel because he didn't want subscribers to get mad at him. So he started a new channel called Fix-A-Lawn.
Okay.
But his regular channel is Lawn Care Life. So tell us a little bit, Ron, about your course and what you got going on with golf course, lawn, and your website and all of that.
Sure. So I have a course that, so some of my viewers said, hey, one thing was the content's really good. But when I did a makeover video, that's actually a good idea. So when I did help my neighbor Alex make over his lawn in the Fix My Ugly Lawn series, it was like 15 videos, and several people reached out to me and said, this was really good, but we'd like to have it all condensed. I'll have it a lot tighter to where, just the information we really need to know to transform our lawns. We get that without having to weed through a bunch of YouTube content. And also a lot of the subjects that I wanted to cover, like around really getting into like what each of the nutrients in the soil do, the importance of soil testing, how to build a fertilization program, the importance of mowing, a lot of the stuff that is a little bit more preachy type content that doesn't do that well on YouTube. All of that went into the course. So the Golf Course Lawn Academy, that's what came out of that. It's gotten really good response between the course and also the private Facebook group. I get to be surrounded with a lot of guys that are really, guys and girls, actually like a few women that are in it too, that are really hardcore about their lawns, and we get to bounce ideas off of each other and just talk about how to improve our lawns. So that's really good. That was one aspect of it. The store that I started, it's like the golfcourselawn.store, that came out of people that said, hey, it's really cool. Your lawn looks awesome, but it's because you use all this stuff and we can't really find it. And I said, you know what? Challenge accepted. So I literally started the store to make the same products, the same programs, the stuff that I use available to people. So now you got no excuses. At the course, you have the same products that I use. Literally, the same stuff I'm putting on my lawn is what's sold at the store. So you have you got no excuses now.
And then what's your recommendation for those here with Bermuda for lawnmowers and some kind of price points? What would you suggest to a 2018 Ron Henry that's like, you know what, I want to go for it?
So I would say, first determine if it's really for you, because as the response that you had when I told you, hey, last year I was mowing every day, and even right now I'm mowing every other day. You have to have the time, or have the desire to make the time to get out there and really mow. So if you're past that phase, you say, hey, I'm all in. I want to mow my lawn. I want to real mow it. For Bermuda, the choice between a rotary mower and a reel mower really comes down to that, how much time you have. It is better to cut Bermuda and Zoysia really with a reel mower, with a cylinder mower. That grass likes to be maintained at 1.5 inches or lower. And unless your lawn is incredibly flat already, you're going to run into issues with scalping when you use a rotary. And just in general, reel mowing is healthier for the turf. It's a healthier way to cut the turf, which is why golf courses do it, right? Once you decide that it's really for you, I would then decide on what your budget is. And then anytime I get the question of what reel mower should you buy is in your area, figure out who can service it, who can get you parts for it, who can, grind the reels and this kind of stuff. Because when it breaks, because anything mechanical and variable will break at some point, who can actually work on that for you. So if I were talking to myself in 2018, but Ron Henry, 2022 Ron Henry talking to 2018 Ron Henry, I still would have probably gotten a true cut to start just to see what it, just to get into it and really, get going with it. Because the true cut is like 85% of what the Greensmaster is. And then the Toro, they are very nice mowers. They do cut like an order of magnitude better than a True Cut does, but they're a lot more expensive. Remember, a Greensmaster brand new is like a $3,000 lawnmower, all done up with a groove roller, all the trimmings and everything on it. A Greensmaster brand new is like a 5-figure mower. It's like between $10,000 to $12,000 depending on options. So when you break it, you're still paying $10,000, $12,000 prices for like replacement reels, especially parts. if you go with the genuine Toro stuff. So that's the only thing I would tell people, before saying, hey, yeah, I'm going to go out, I'm going to buy the best mower I can and just go after the best cut. Know what your budget is. Know that, maintenance is going to be more expensive for a more expensive piece of equipment, but the quality is better. So really depends on you. If I had to do it all over again, I would still tell people to start out with a true cut. And then if you really like it, you can always flip it, sell it for a lot of pretty much what you got into it, especially if you get a pre-owned one. And then go move on to like a greens mower if you want the best as you can get.
The true cut, the roller doesn't come on it. You have to get that separately, right?
Correct. Yeah, they come with caster wheels by default. Real Rollers, who sells rollers for the true cuts, for the McLeans, for the California trimmers, they offer a grooved roller and a smooth roller. I will tell you, they will tell you, start out with a smooth roller. And the smooth roller is great for starting. It is a little bit easier to maneuver the mower with, but the cut quality with a grooved roller is better. So if you can only buy one, I would get the true cut and get a grooved roller on it. That would be my
Their headquarters here, aren't they?
They're like 15 minutes down the road. They're right off of Peachtree Industrial.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Lee, Andrew, Eric. I know those guys are really great set of guys. If you want a true cut mower, they carry the 20 and the 27, so they can help you out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate you taking time out of your day, Ron. Man, I'd love to come out there 6:30 one morning and watch you with that dew. I saw you on the story the other day. I was like, that is such a good idea because you just see every stripe. You see, it's perfect.
Yep. Yeah.
Do you listen to music podcasts? What do you do?
So sometimes music, sometimes a podcast. I'm always about like self-improvement stuff. So I'll either have like an audiobook, sometimes an audiobook's on. So I mix it up. Sometimes it varies, depending on what I'm feeling like that day. What's some of
your favorite mowing audiobooks?
So right now I'm re-listening to Outliers by Malcolm. I think it's Malcolm Gladwell who wrote that book. So I'm re-listening to that again. I have a set of books that I re-listen to every year, so I'm going through that one again. And then for the music, it'll be anything from everything from jazz from like Lee Retnor or Grover Washington to James Brown to Chameleonaire. I listen to a bit of everything, so it doesn't to say which music genre, it varies. I open up Spotify and I'll say, yeah, that sounds good, and I'll put that on and listen to it. So
cool, man. Well, it's an honor to meet you and keep up the great work. The algorithm obviously just keeps shooting you to me on Friday nights. Boom, there you are. And I've been tracking with your stuff for a while, and it's definitely inspiring. So
I appreciate it.
Keep up the great work, man.
Yeah, definitely. And if I can ever help out with anything, if you ever want to come by sometime at 6:30 and watch me mow the lawn, it's kind of boring. I can assure you it's better on the YouTube stories in real life. You're welcome.
I will tell you what, I've done 4 or 5 maybe TikToks or Reels of a reel mower, and all of them got crazy amount of views every single time.
Wow.
And so I'd love to do because vertical, like YouTube shorts and Instagram Reels and TikToks, I'd love to come and just like get some really good shots while the dew's there. I think those would really perform well on TikTok, Instagram Reels, and shorts. And you're the only guy I know out mowing at 6:30 a.m. So I'd love to catch some shots and post those if you're cool with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't have a problem with it at all. Or I can film. I can probably film some and send them to you as well too. Either way, whichever way is easier for you.
Yep. Cool. Well, I don't mind. I'd love to watch you mow. Like Alan says, enjoy the mow, man. That'd be therapeutic for me to get some footage and watch you do that 6:30 a.m.
That's me. I'm out there.
Cool, man. Well, I really appreciate your time. I'll send this over to my producer where we batch our content. So this will actually come out I think probably the Tuesday after Memorial Day.
Okay.
I'm for real. I totally would come out there at 6:30 one morning and get some footage if you're cool with that.
Yeah. Just let me know. We'll chat in Facebook, and I'll get you my info, my address, or whatever. And you're more than welcome. Cumming's not that far. It's about 30 minutes or so, 35 minutes.
Okay. You're up in Gainesville area or Flowery Branch?
Yeah, Flowery Branch, Gainesville area.
Okay. Yeah, that's simple drive, especially in the morning. Cool, man. Well, I appreciate your time, and I'll send you a Facebook message and see if we can set something up.
Sounds good.
All right.
Great, man.
Thanks, Ron.
Take care. Thanks.
All right. Bye.